Today we're going to explore why silence is your greatest weapon after heartbreak, and how the ancient Stoics can teach us to transform devastating loss into unshakable strength. Let's be brutally honest about what happens when we break no contact. You reach out. Maybe they respond briefly, politely, distantly, and for a moment you feel relief. But then what? The silence returns, but now it's worse, because you've shown your hand. You've revealed that you're not okay, that you're still thinking about them, that you're waiting by the phone, like a prisoner waiting for a pardon that may never come. Epictetus taught his students, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Every time you reach out to your ex, you're grieving for something you no longer have, instead of building something you could become. The Stoics called this kind of behavior being enslaved to externals. You've handed your peace, your happiness, your very sense of self, over to another person's responses. Check your phone, no message, feel terrible, see they viewed your story, obsess for hours, get a breadcrumb text, feel euphoric. It's a cycle of psychological torture, and you're doing it to yourself. Seneca wrote about love with painful clarity. "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. This breakup is your friction, this silence is your trial, but instead of being polished by it, most people just keep throwing themselves against the same wall, hoping for different results." So why does silence have such power? Let me break this down through a Stoic lens. First, silence forces presence. When you're constantly reaching out, texting, checking social media, you're living in a fantasy future where they come back, or a painful past where things were good. You're anywhere except right here, right now. The Stoics were obsessed with the present moment because it's the only thing that's real. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Confine yourself to the present. Your suffering isn't actually caused by the breakup itself, it's caused by your mind's constant time travel." When you embrace silence, you stop feeding that mental chaos. You're forced to sit with what is, not what was or what might be. Second, silence reveals truth. During the relationship, maybe you lost yourself, you molded your personality, suppressed your needs, ignored red flags. Silence creates space. In that space, without their voice, their opinions, their presence, you finally hear your own voice again. Who are you without them? What do you actually want? The Stoics believed self-knowledge was the foundation of wisdom, and Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." In silence, you learn the meaning of who you are. Only then can you speak, or choose not to, from a place of authenticity. Third, silence builds strength. Every time you want to text them and you don't, you're doing a mental push-up. You're training your mind to sit with discomfort without reacting. This is precisely what Stoic practice is about. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That urge to reach out, it's not your enemy, it's your training ground. Fourth, silence shifts power dynamics. I know this sounds manipulative, but hear me out. When you're constantly available, constantly reaching out, you've made yourself common, cheap, forgettable. The Stoics understood scarcity and value. Seneca observed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." When you chase, you're poor, desperately craving their attention, their validation, their love. When you're silent, you embody abundance. You're saying through your actions, "I am complete without you. I don't need your crumbs." So how do you actually maintain this silence when every cell in your body is screaming to break it? The Stoics had practical techniques, and they work. First, practice negative visualization. Epictetus taught his students to imagine loss before it happens, so they could appreciate what they had and prepare for its absence. You've already experienced the loss, so flip the technique. Visualize what happens if you break silence. Really imagine it. You send that text, they respond coldly, or not at all. How do you feel? Probably worse than you do right now. This isn't about being pessimistic, it's about being realistic and using that reality to strengthen your resolve. Second, use the dichotomy of control. Make a list right now. On one side, write everything you can control: your actions, your responses, your daily routine, your self-improvement, how you spend your time. On the other side, write what you can't control: whether they text you, whether they miss you, whether they come back, what they think of you. Marcus Aurelius was clear: you always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Every time you obsess over their silence or think about reaching out, you're troubling your soul about things you cannot control. Redirect that energy to your list of controllables. Third, embrace voluntary discomfort. The Stoics deliberately practiced discomfort to build resilience. Seneca would sleep on a hard floor, wear rough clothes, and fast, not because he had to, but because he wanted to prove to himself he could handle difficulty. Your voluntary discomfort is this silence. It's painful, yes, but you're choosing it. You're not a victim of it. That choice transforms suffering into strength. Seneca said it perfectly: a person who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. You're already suffering from the breakup. Don't add unnecessary suffering by breaking your silence and reopening the wound. Here's what actually happens when you maintain silence. Week 1 feels impossible. You'll cry. You'll draft messages you don't send. You'll imagine conversations that will never happen. Good. Feel it all. The Stoics weren't about suppressing emotion. They were about not being controlled by it. Marcus Aurelius felt grief when his children died, but he didn't let it consume him. Week 2, something shifts. You'll notice hours go by where you don't think about them. You'll start sleeping better. The obsessive phone checking lessens. You're not healed, but you're healing. By week 4, you'll have moments of genuine peace, maybe even happiness. You'll realize you're building a life that doesn't revolve around their absence or potential return. You're just building. And here's the paradox the Stoics understood: the moment you stop needing them to come back is often when they do. But by then, you might not even want them anymore. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When you no longer need their validation, you're finally free. But even if they never come back, you've gained something infinitely more valuable: yourself. Let me leave you with this. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, experienced profound loss: his wife, his children, his friends. Yet he wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." He didn't write to be loved back. He wrote to love. You have the privilege of loving, even if it hurts right now, even if it wasn't returned the way you hoped. That capacity to love deeply, that's yours. They can't take it. The breakup can't destroy it. It's your strength, not your weakness. Your silence right now is sacred. It's not punishing them. It's honoring yourself. Every day you maintain it, you're telling yourself, I am worth more than breadcrumbs. I am worth more than maybe. I am worth someone's wholehearted yes. Seneca's final wisdom: where the whole future lies in uncertainty, live immediately. Don't waste today waiting for a text that may never come. Don't sacrifice your present for a past that's gone, or a future that may not exist. Right here, right now, you have everything you need to begin again. So put down the phone, close the app, delete the draft, choose silence, choose yourself, choose strength. The ancient Stoics knew what you're learning right now. The most powerful response to loss isn't to cling tighter, it's to let go completely and discover that you were never actually incomplete in the first place. You've got this.